Hey folks, Jimmy here, aka Palette of the Dead. Welcome back to the channel and welcome to the latest issue of Warhammer 40k Combat Patrol magazine. Now, as per usual with all these videos, if you like them, hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't subscribed already, and of course, drop a comment down below. It all goes a massive way to helping out the channel, and I do really appreciate hearing back from you guys as well. Now, this week, we enter a new phase of the magazine's run. Issue 71 comes with 5 Astra Militarum minis, Vicadian Command Squad in particular, so you get to have a little bit of fun with these guys. So, as you can see from the picture, that's generally what you're going to be going for. However, you will notice, to make these 5 guys, that's a lot of pieces. So, the idea with this is, obviously, you will have some spares and bits and pieces that you can utilise elsewhere if you really wanted to. So you've got things like flamers, you've got good old melter guns and all that type of stuff. You've got a grenade launcher or two. You've got different weapons, so different chainswords held in different positions, swords held in different positions, all that type of stuff. So yeah, pretty cool. So you can utilise those bits in other builds at different times. You have spare heads, so you can utilise them heads elsewhere if you wanted to, and all that good stuff. Or you can just follow the guide. Entirely up to you, but really cool stuff. Obviously, the Astra Militarum are the bog standard humans of the 41st millennium. They're a little bit squishy because they're humans and they're not super soldiers. However, the idea with these is firepower and numbers. So obviously we get quite a few of these guys in Combat Patrol magazine, and if you really want a good army, you can have quite a lot of units out there. And also things like tanks are really good for these guys. So pretty cool stuff. I must admit, I do like the Astra Militarum. They're really good fun. So definitely a set that I've been looking forward to myself. Anywho, obviously it's a new mini issue, so we're going to go straight in and we have our build guide. So you get to choose some parts with all of this as well. So for instance, your one chappie here, he can be standing with his foot on a sandbag or on a tactical rock. Entirely up to you. Whether you want to have tactical rock or tactical sandbag, entirely up to you, but pretty good. Obviously, you're also going to get to choose which head you want to use, so it's entirely up to you which one you want to go for. Same with pretty much all of these guys, you can change the heads around. The only one that he doesn't really want you to do is the comms guy, because he has his hand to his head, like he's trying to listen to whatever's been said through the good old Vox. So, pretty cool stuff. If you really wanted to as well, you can change that sword for a chainsword, so you don't have to be limited with that. You can literally have a little bit of mix mash, do it how you want it, and change it up. Entirely up to you. I must admit, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I'm going to go chainsword or if I'm going to go power sword. Could go both. Could go either way. I'm not too sure. Then obviously you got your rifleman with a medipack, your regimental standard, and a chappie with a power fist, because yeah, power fists are cool. So that'll give you them 5 guys. You've got a little bit of a tactical scenery rock that you can add on to a base if you wanted to. In honesty, you don't really have to. It's entirely your choice. I'm not sure if I would, but not with a chap like this. Maybe on one of the other sets later on, but maybe not with this guy. Maybe with the Sentinel or something like that, maybe. Anyway, obviously because we've already got all the minis for this set, they're not going to make us wait for a paint guide. We actually get the paint guide straight away. So painting your Cadian Command Squad, starting with your good old base coat, undercoat of Abaddon Black, works pretty well. Obviously you're going to be painting lighter colours over Abaddon Black, which can be a little bit more tricky. If you really wanted to, and you wanted to have a little bit of an easier time, and you're going to be spray painting these later on, like myself for instance, spray and Wraithbone, go for a lighter colour if you're following this guide, because then your darker colours can go over the top relatively easier. And they do generally go over fairly easy. If you've put a shade over the Wraithbone, for instance, your dark colours sit nicer over the top of it without too many layers. But entirely up to you. I must admit, I'm tempted either way, because I'm not going to go for this colour scheme. I'm tempted to go for more of a camo scheme, probably a winter camo, and then put some Valhalla Blizzard on the bottom, because I like snowy bases, they look cool. So yeah, pretty good. Anyway, once you're doing all of that, all your base colours will have you looking something like that, which, yeah, is fairly okay-ish for very, very standard tabletop standards. Obviously, to get it all better, all your shades go over the top. Have a bit of fun with it. When you're going over, you're going to be using things like your Agrak Surf Shade, which kind of darkens all that Wraithbone up. To bring it back up to kind of colour, you can utilise more Wraithbone over the raised areas and such like that. Following the guide does work very, very well if you want that colour scheme. If you want other colour schemes, follow your heart, have a bit of fun with it. Obviously, plan it out beforehand. If you want to have a little bit of a muck around, there's a phone app called ImpCat that you can download for Android. I'm not sure if it's available on iOS because I'm not an iOS user, but you can download it for Android. And then if you search for mega.nz, you can find files to download of different minis, and you can kind of virtually paint them up in the app if you wanted to, including good old Astra Militarum. So you can have a little bit of fun with the colours and change it up and see how it looks, and kind of work your colour scheme around that. Same with things like Space Marines, the good old Jade Lancers, well, the Jade Warriors is on there, that I found on there, for the Army of Grand Cathay, Chaos Space Marines. You can find some good old other bits and pieces. You can find other minis from different games. You can find 3D printed minis on there, all that type of stuff. So you can have a little bit of fun with it anyway. So, but yeah, I personally would tinker with that. If you're not sure exactly what colour scheme you want to go for, if you are sure what colour scheme you want to go for and you're pretty set on it, have at it. You know, you can have a bit of fun. Anyway, enough rambling on there. The Astra Militarum, the Hammer of the Emperor. Of all the forces available to the Imperium of Man, it is the regiments of the Astra Militarum who are the most numerous. They are the most likely to be deployed into any war zone, and the most likely to be the first to respond to any of the many dangers that threaten humanity. The Astra Militarum is a colossal organisation made up of countless women and men under oath to protect the Imperium, no matter the cost. Many worlds make up the forces of the Astra Militarum, and entire regiments are sometimes raised containing only specialists from a particular world, equipped with characteristic special weapons and equipment. To maintain coherency in an organisation that is so vast and diverse, strict codes are enforced with brutal discipline. The Astra Militarum will even go so far as to kill soldiers who stray too far from expectations or who flee in the face of danger. So, as you can tell, the Astra Militarum is, the frontline soldiers of the Imperium of Man. They are numerous. They are in some ways, what's the best way to describe them? Cannon fodder. In some cases, they will be utilised in the manner that they are, just kind of plonked on the front line. So they will take the heaviest casualties, but they also have the highest numbers, so they can afford to take the casualties in a lot of cases. However, sometimes they can be too spread thin, and it all goes wrong. Otherwise, though, the Astra Militarum are pretty cool. They also have some pretty cool little weapons and everything like that as well that get added into them. So you get to find out a bit more about them as well. So like the Adeptus Ministorum and the Departamento Munitorium. So, and all that kind of good stuff. So yeah, a little bit more information about them. Obviously, the Imperium Man is very religious in a way, and very religious zealotry in there. So there are witch hunters, there are the kind of certain, sometimes squads are purged because of their heretical nature. There are many different worlds, so Cadia is one of the worlds that the Astra Militarum come very famous for their Astra Militarum, and then there are others as well throughout the entire galaxy. So certain groups have certain features. So if you wanted to go more plasma weapons, you could do, and you can have a more of an Astra Militarum army that's more armed with plasma weaponry. Or if you wanted to go more just standard rifles, you can do. Entirely up to you. Have a bit of fun with it. Plan it out, have a bit of fun. Anywho, moving on. Cadian characters, you get to obviously to do your usual things, so give them the rank, if you wanted to, for your commander. So it could be a major, captain, or a lieutenant, entirely up to you. You get things like the Armoured Sentinel, which is pretty cool. And the Sentinels, there's a couple of different versions as well out there for it. You have other units as well within the Astra Militarum ranks, whether it's tanks, whether it's commissars. You can get yourself some more good old Astra Militarum grunts. You can have yourself some of the Outriders. You've got the Death Corps of Krieg, which are pretty cool, and I must admit, one of the ones that I really do want to get my hands on, and I need to pull my finger out and do that at some point, and stuff like that. So there are numerous different ways you can build your Astra Militarum army up if you wanted to, or you can just go full tanks, which is fully valid. I cannot blame anybody for going very, very tank heavy in an Astra Militarum army. Anyway, moving on from there, we get our Cadian Command Squad page. So, obviously you get to give them their background, entirely up to you, whether they've, I don't know, been fighting Tyranids for years, whether they've been protecting the banner when they were overwhelmed and all that type of stuff. Yeah, up to you, or make it up as you go. Give them their unit name if you really, really wanted to, and you can have a bit of fun with that. And you've got your data sheet on the other side. So, we haven't had the data cards for these guys yet, but we will get them soon. So, the data card sheet, obviously you have your Cadian Commander listed on there, and you have the Veteran Guardsman as well listed too. So, it's a unit obviously comprising of 5 minis, and it can be attached to Cadian Shock Troops as well, if you wanted to. So, you get to have a little bit of a play with it, and yeah, they're pretty good. I must admit, I like them. I do like the good old Astra Militarum, just never really delved too deeply into them. Anyway, moving on from there. Scenario 44, Cadia stands. So, you set up your battlefield, as shown on the other side of the page. You'll be utilising Chaos Space Marines in the shape of 1 unit of 2 Legionaries with a bolt pistol, bolt gun, and close combat weapon. And the Astra Militarum gets their Cadian Command Squad. And yeah, you get to have a bit of fun with that. Pretty cool. So it'll be pretty good. You get to utilise different deployment zones. And it's, yeah, trying to survive until you can, as long as you can. But yeah, pretty cool stuff. And obviously you've got your victory conditions as well there. And Cadia stands is one of the things that you'll hear very, very frequently with the Astra Militarum, because Cadia is a planet that was believed to have fallen, but has possibly survived. I'm not actually 100% sure on the lore with all of it, but I believe it does. I might be wrong on that. Somebody will correct me, I'm sure. Anyway, but yeah, pretty cool. Yeah, should really find out about the lore about these guys sometime at some point. Anyway, good fun. Obviously, you're going to be able to bolster the lines later on with the Shock Troops, Armoured Sentinel, and all that stuff. And for your enemies, wherever you want to go, Orc Boys, Hell Brutes, all that kind of good stuff. Pretty fun times. Moving on. Next week, Next week's a paint issue. Paint issues are a bit meh, but you know, it is what it is. We get White Scar, we get Uriel Yellow. Obviously, Uriel Yellow is a very bright yellow, brighter than your Avaland Sunset. White Scar is a brighter white than Corax White, but both of them are thinner paints, so they're more used for things like your highlights and stuff like that, and not for base coats. Then issue 73 and 74 is part 1 and 2 of the Cadian Shock Troops for our Astra Militarum. So 10 minis in there. If you want a really, really big, good old Astra Militarum army, obviously get yourself some more. Try and get yourself extra copies. But yeah, really, really good stuff. And yeah, should be good fun. So we're into a new one and into the end stages of this magazine really now, aren't we? So it's getting there. So we have some really cool stuff to look forward to. So obviously we have the Astra Militarum, we have Atalan Jackals at some point, and we have World Eaters still to come with this magazine. And then obviously we're going to be launching into good old Spearhead magazine, which hopefully we've made some tweaks with it, but we'll see. But yeah, otherwise, pretty cool stuff and happy days. Anyway, that is more than enough from me. I have rambled on far too much to you guys. Thank you so much for watching, and yeah, I will see you soon. Bye-bye now.